Would you eat monsters? And I don't mean like slightly bigger pig, I'm talking like monsters. Sure, to try it once, yeah, I mean I would, but to survive, to eat odd creatures and bugs for weeks on end, to dream about a proper breakfast only to wake to some concoction of something that tried to viciously kill you only the day before? This is the premise of Dungeon Meshi, or Delicious in Dungeon, but literally nobody calls it that. A group of adventurers, short on cash and down on their luck, decide to use the monsters of the dungeon to sustain themselves. If you don't think that this looks very appetizing, then congratulations. Marcille, the elf mage from the anime Dungeon Meshi, agrees. Wow, you're just like her. But it's more than just that. Let me tell you why. But before we begin, I'd like to quickly propose that you subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot, and you get the added bonus of seeing my content in your subscription feed. Wow, what a win-win, huh? Anyway, shameless plug over. So, you are Marcille. That's that, huh? I'll explain. Marcille does not want to eat monsters. And rightfully so. They usually don't look very appetizing, and they are constantly trying to end you. She has vehement reactions to the mere suggestion of eating monsters, and can you blame her? Who wouldn't prefer a regular meal consisting of well-known and classic foods? There is something to this, though, aside from the obvious comic relief that Marcille's wacky antics provide. You, the viewer, are meant to relate to Marcille throughout watching Dungeon Meshi, to sympathize with her incredulous reactions to eating these vile beasts. She is a vessel for you to jump right into this world. Wait, not that world. To get what I mean, let's take a look at another instance of a character being positioned as a vessel for the viewer, or, in this case, the reader.
That's it.
What's it?
Fishbone Alley, of course.
There's a little character you may have heard of before, by the name of Sherlock Holmes, mystery solver and detective extraordinaire. This'll make sense, I promise. While in the short stories of Sherlock Holmes, you find the eponymous character solving the most perplexing of mysteries with his eccentric genius, he is not the only core part of what makes Holmes work. His companion, John Watson, is an everyman, a drab and basic fellow with not much detective genius. He was also explicitly designed to act as a foil to Sherlock, in Arthur Conan Doyle's own words. In the introduction to The Complete Sherlock Holmes, Christopher and Barbara Roden explain how Conan Doyle was quick to realize the importance of a vivid and realistic grounding force for his detective, someone who observes and makes notes, acts as a sounding board, is there to provide assistance when needed, and, most importantly, stands in for the reader, asking the questions that we would ask. We must acknowledge, of course, the differences between Watson and Marcille. One is a detective's assistant in Victorian London, and the other a mage exploring the depths of a fantasy dungeon. They aren't very alike in that regard. Watson was designed to be a way for the reader to inhabit the world of Holmes, for the reader to be able to participate in the solving of the mystery themselves. Marcille obviously does not solve mysteries, but she does line up with Watson in her position as the voice of reason.
What's to prevent anyone smashing the glass and pinching it?
Marcille has her own character too, but so did John Watson. They are not empty characters solely for the purpose of being possessed by the reader. Rather, Marcille serves as an audience surrogate role in the context of eating monsters in the dungeon. She acts as a vessel of relatability for the viewer, providing a voice of reason and a sense of normalcy while her companions salivate over seemingly inedible monsters. Her perspective is easily understandable from the point of view of the viewer. Eating monsters is clearly not the norm in this world. Like Watson, Marcille asks the questions that we would ask, has the reactions that we would have. Unless you really want to eat monsters, I guess. She's an outspoken sounding board of normal rationality for the party, often asking if something is poisonous or even safe to eat. In this way, she is the vehicle for you to travel to this dungeon with these characters. Okay, now I want to put a pin in that point for a moment. Let's change gears. Have you ever been influenced by something only to chide yourself for it after the fact due to its simple or shallow manner? It can be an annoying source of self-doubt. At worst, it can even stop you from making your life better. But anything can inspire you if you let it. You just have to be there to accept it. Despite all of her hesitation and disgust for the notion, Marcille does try all these new and strange foods made of dungeon monster matter. Moreover, she even likes them. And because you are Marcille, as we have established with the clickbait title, you should endeavor to try new foods too. Be like her. What do I mean by this? Let yourself be inspired by your surrogate character, or at least the surrogate that I have so authoritatively and arrogantly proclaimed to exist in this video. You see Senshi telling the group the importance of a properly balanced diet, so why not listen and give it a try? It's just as valid a reason as any for improving your diet. Here's what I really want to get at. It doesn't matter where you pick something up, why you start doing something, or why you make a positive change in your life. The mere act of making that change is all that matters. I was recently struck by this idea in another way. I saw this comic from Marcille Comics by chance, and 2 days later I was making a veggie shake. If it's enough to help you make a change, who cares where it comes from? You could try drinking vegetables to increase your intake, just like Miku says. Or, in this context, you could try new and strange foods and learn lessons from it because you saw that goofy elf from Dungeon Meshi do the same.
What was it?
The anime, through Senshi, urges you to cook, to eat more veggies, to have a balanced diet. What's the harm from trying anyways? Eating vegetables is good for you. Probably. Things can affect your life in a tangible way, regardless of where they come from. I know what you're thinking. The focus of the video kind of shifted from that Watson idea to this one, didn't it? But, to connect these two ideas, of you being Marcille and the possibility of learning lessons from anywhere, I'm gonna blow your mind. We already see the cast of Dungeon Meshi doing this very thing. Senshi, Laios, Chilchuck, and Marcille learn their lessons through their food. The primary lessons of the show all center around the idea of eating and learning from it in the process. They are learning their lessons from something relatively unremarkable. For example, in the second episode, the gang learns the importance of teamwork and how you can use your friends' expertise to improve your own life, but through the lens of eating bats and mandrakes. Without their cooperation in using the traps of the dungeon effectively, they don't get to eat. In the fourth episode, the gang bonds with their captors through eating food, Marcille learning perhaps to be less prejudiced against the orcs as she smiles and talks with them. These sorts of moral of the story type bits are typically expressed by the narrator at the end of each episode. Pay attention to them and you just might learn something too. Finally, in the seventh episode, Marcille steps outside of her comfort zone again, but this time in a social context, approaching Senshi first to ask for a monster part, something she hasn't done before, and then approaching him again with some soap she's made from it as a gift for him. She only had this idea, to use monster parts so efficiently, because she's been traveling with the squad and cooking monsters. This clearly shows a genuine change in Marcille's mindset and approach to things, that she's learned from her time cooking monster parts with the other three. This then ultimately solves the issue they run into in this sequence, strengthens the bond between the two, and proves that not only has Marcille learned from her experiences with the party, but that also she has benefited from expanding her worldview. So, Watson, jump into the world of Dungeon Meshi and get over that trepidation over eating something that seems gross. Listen to Miku and drink some veggie juice. Trust Senshi and endeavor towards a balanced diet. If Marcille learns her life lessons through cooking, why can't you learn yours from an anime? Does it truly matter where something originates? If it makes your life better, it's all the same in the end. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please subscribe, and share it with your friends too. If you'd like to see more, here's some of my other work. I also stream on Twitch all the time, so go follow me there and come say hi sometime. That's all I got. See ya!